Hello there, my name is Doran Ranjira. I am from the UK. Now, in this quick video, well, before we get into the video, in fact, what I essentially do, I help natural, sustainable, and purpose-driven direct-to-consumer brands add an extra 20 to 30% without relying or spending a dime on paid ads. Now, in this video, I'm going to be simply quickly showing you the most recent Klaviyo account. As you can quite clearly see here, it's filtered for the last 30 days. In the last 30 days, we've been able to generate 45% of a supplement brand's essentially monthly recurring revenue purely through Klaviyo. So in this case, it's $79,000. Now, just to quickly walk you through the process we take our clients in order to generate such incredible results. Now, any client that goes through our onboarding phase, once we sign them up, once we essentially take a look at the ad account and we deem them essentially a client that we can potentially work with, there's a lot of potential within the product, with their current audience, and they just simply need some things to be tweaked and changed in our expertise essentially. So, as you can quite clearly see here, this is the entire system we use that every single client has to go through in order to really generate results. So the very thing at the top right here, and that essentially we predicate all of our work and understanding on, is our foundational analysis and research. Now, what this consists of essentially is a series of questions that help us understand your ideal customer and customer profile deeply, a series of questions that really allow us to craft copy that resonates and strikes a chord with your ideal audience. And it's just basically a series of questions. For example, what terms of phrases and angles will attract the customer, and specific tribal language, maybe some terms of phrase that will tell the customer what are the biggest pain and fears of the customers essentially. And it all varies depending on product to product. So once we have a fundamental understanding, and this will also directly permeate onto our strategy call, where we'll talk to you exactly on how we plan to generate results for you. Essentially, once we have done that, we go into our second phase, which would be the copywriting and graphic design. Now, one thing I have noticed for a lot of brands when they outsource their back-end email marketing is that sometimes they are left to do 50% of the job, which can sometimes be graphic design or copywriting. But in our case, we take that completely off your hands and we handle that in-house, and we ensure that is essentially completely delegated, and we do it completely for you at the highest level possible. So copywriting, analysis, and graphic design. So our copywriter and graphic designer will work together to essentially create the best emails. And at the same time as well, of course, we ensure that your pop-up form is continuously converting at a 5 to 10%. Sometimes we've had pop-up forms convert at a 15%, 13% level, purely because of the attraction of the offer. Now, once we've done that, essentially, we go through the automation. We plug in every single hole of your automated flows. So, as you can quite clearly see here, these are all the flows that the fundamental flows. Essentially, we ensure that they're completely in place and optimized. We ensure that they have no leaking holes, essentially, and we're really eking out every single dollar that we can from all your fundamental core flows. Now, once we have done that, essentially, we go into the next phase, which is our weekly campaigns. Now, we start with anywhere from 1 to 2 per week, but one thing that we found is that you can really ramp that up depending on where the brand is, to 3 to 4. Sometimes I've talked to some founders, D2C founders, that are somewhat afraid of sending more emails to their customer base because they don't want to ruin their sender reputation. They feel like they're being too intrusive to their customers. But one thing that you find is that your customers actually, especially loyal ones, really do want to hear from you. So once we have done those weekly campaigns, we of course ensure that they are the KPIs, the key performance indicators, are truly being met. And if they aren't, essentially we go through that continuous feedback and essentially optimize every single aspect of it to ensure that they are meeting KPIs. And if you are wondering, these are the KPIs we are continuously aiming for to ensure that we generate results like I just showed you earlier. So open rate of 20 to 50%, click-through rate of 2% or more, essentially paste order of 1% or more, and bounce rate of below, of course, 0.4%, and spam rate of below 0.05%, and unsubscribe rate of below, ideally, 0.2%. Now, essentially, with the Now, to improve all of these KPIs, we of course have a systematic way of going through it. We of course ensure that we split test offers, pop-up forms, subject lines, the text body in itself, the graphic designing, the design of the emails in itself, the call to actions, the segmentations, the copy, and a plethora of things that we can essentially do to test and optimize. And that's the only way to improve and you go through continuous feedback loops to understand which part of the email is working best, and you can really formulate the ultimate email. And that's exactly what we do here. And that's pretty much the system we go through. It's a really high level view of what we go through. I don't want to keep this video, I didn't want to prolong this video, so I want to keep it very short and very concise and to the point. So that's exactly what we do to generate results like that. Now, I'm going to end the video here. If you truly do need help with your backend system, email, and really trying to optimize to that 30-40% range, feel free to book a call with myself. And essentially in this call, what we'll go through is your lowest hanging fruits. There's no sales to be made whatsoever. The only purpose of this call is to ensure that we can potentially help you in the first place. So my intention is not to try to sell you our services initially. I want to simply find out exactly where you are and where you want to go. And if we could potentially help you, of course, we'll make you an offer. But once again, please go ahead and book a call, and we'll see what we can do for you. So you take care. Bye-bye.